my channel. My name is Jessie and I post new videos here on my channel just about every weekday. In today's video we are going to be setting up my budget for the third week in the month of July. I have in front of me the two planners that I use for budgeting. I have my Erin Condren Deluxe monthly planner where I track all of my transactions, and I have my budget by paycheck workbook where I do the bulk of my budgeting. This is from the Budget Mom. Both of these planners will be linked in the description box below. I have a $10 off coupon code for Erin Condren as well. It's actually not a coupon code, it's a link. If you click on the link in my description box and sign up for an account with Erin Condren, they will then email you a $10 coupon code to use on purchases of $50 or more. So that's a great deal. I also have the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook linked down below. I know that the Budget Mom, is getting ready to release her new version of this workbook. I've seen some of her little sneak peeks of it. It looks amazing. So I don't know. I think that's set for pre-order in September if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong. I won't be making a purchase because I already have my Budget by Paycheck workbook. It's a printable. I can print this as many times as I want, which is what I love about it. But I will link the Budget Mom down below as well. She has a phenomenal YouTube channel and Instagram account that really has a lot of great budgeting tips and things. So we are looking at paycheck number 3. It's the budget for the paycheck my husband received on July 21st, 2020. Also have a little bit of YouTube income coming in, which is exciting. Thank you guys for watching my videos and supporting me. That allows me to bring in a little tiny bit of extra side hustle money that helps us out with our debt-free journey. So thank you for subscribing and watching my videos. I appreciate it. I am going to zoom in a little bit. So I do not disclose my husband's income. He's not comfortable with that, and I completely respect that, but I am going to go ahead and tell you guys that I made $245.15 from my YouTube channel this month, so thank you. Just thought it would be fun to disclose that. So, now we're going to start listing out bills. Now, if you are new to my channel and you're not familiar, what I include under bills is, yes, bills, but also any of my weekly expenses that gets paid with my debit card. So, I pull out cash for a lot of things, but there are certain expenses throughout the week that I use my debit card for, and so those items get put in under bills as well. This essentially is what stays in my bank account. The first item being grocery. I use the Walmart pickup service, and so I pay for groceries with my debit card, so that money just stays in the bank. And I have budgeted $150 for groceries for the week. That is to feed my family of 4, myself, my husband, and our 2 boys. Robert is 17, Austin is 12. Next up, I have household. And I always budget $30 for household expenses. Typically that goes right to my Amazon credit card because I do a lot of our household items through Amazon Subscribe and Save. So I always budget $30 for that. And those are the 2 main expenses that just kind of stay in my account, hang out until I'm ready to spend them. Now we're going to look at the week in my Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly. The week of July 21st through the 27th, which you guys could not see there. There we go. Zoom you out a little bit. Alright, so next we got to take care of the bills that fall within this week. So that is, as you can see here, car insurance and motorcycle insurance, and DTE and Michigan Gas. All right, so for car insurance, this covers my F-250 Super Duty, my son's Saturn Ion. It also covers our camper. We live in Michigan, insurance premiums are high. Though there is some sort of insurance reform happening here in Michigan, so I'm anticipating this car insurance bill will be lower next month, but for this month, we're budgeting $300. Yeah, it's a lot. In addition to those vehicles, my husband also has a motorcycle, which has full coverage insurance on it. We get that insurance through a different company because they were able to give us a better rate for the bike insurance, and so that's why it's a separate line item here. Otherwise, it would all be combined. Bike insurance, I anticipate being around $40. For DTE, that is our electric bill. We are on a budget plan, which means that they take our annual usage and then divide it by 12 and give us a monthly total of $175. And then for Michigan Gas, we're on a similar plan where we pay $40. And that just keeps us from having super high DTE bill in the summer and then lower in the winter when we're not running the air conditioner, and the same with the heat, vice versa. And that, I believe, is everything for bills. So I'm going to pull in my calculator here, and we're going to add this up. So 150 plus 30 plus 300 plus 40 plus 175 plus 40 is $735 in bills this week. That just covers all of the bills that are due within this pay period. All right. Next, we will move on to cash envelopes. And this is where the rest of my weekly expenses come in. I pull out cash for a lot of categories, a lot of my spending categories. So, we're going to start with gasoline. I like to keep my gas money in cash, and I always budget $50 a week for that. Next is miscellaneous. So I write out my budget every single week, and without fail, it seems like there's always something that comes up that I didn't plan for. And that's what this miscellaneous money covers. It's just anything else, anything that I didn't anticipate or anything extra. Also helps cover any overages if we go a little tiny bit over budget with our groceries or whatever. So I always budget $50 in miscellaneous money. Next, I have my spending money, as well as my husband's spending money. This is essentially our allowance. We give ourselves this money every single week to spend on whatever we want. So we each get $40 for that, and I like to pull that out in cash. And lastly, we have eating out. I like to budget a little bit in our budget every week for us to have a nice meal out or order a pizza or whatever. So we also budget $50 for that. So that is all for my cash envelopes. That's everything I have planned for this week. So we'll add this up as well. 50 plus 50 plus 40 plus 40 plus 50, $230 in envelopes this week. So I will go to the bank and pull out this amount of money in cash, plus the cash that I need for the rest of my categories. I also do my sinking funds in cash. Sinking funds are little mini savings accounts, essentially, for anything that I know is coming, but that's not necessarily a weekly or monthly expense. So I save a little bit of money throughout the year for things like Christmas, car maintenance, vet visits with my cat, just anything that I know might be coming that I would otherwise be unprepared for and have to swipe a credit card. The whole purpose of this budget is to keep me from spending money on a credit card and to help me pay off my credit card debt. So the sinking funds, I have a dozen or so sinking funds, but I only focus on a few every week, and the sinking funds we are focusing on this week are my campground, which I save a little bit of money throughout the year to pay for our annual campsite where we keep our camper. Car tags and maintenance covers our annual car tag renewal, as well as any maintenance, oil changes, that sort of thing. Christmas, obviously, it happens every year. We always want to buy gifts for our family and friends, and so we save a little bit of money throughout the year to be able to do that and not have to rely on credit card debt. Also, my husband is a hunter, so we set aside a little bit of money throughout the year for hunting season that helps any supplies that he needs, as well as his hunting licenses. And the other categories we're saving for this week are home maintenance. That's just a fund where we save a little bit of money for any home improvements or furnace filters or whatever we need to maintain our home. And also YouTube. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I made $245 from YouTube this month, but unfortunately that money is not all mine. Gotta pay taxes on it. And so we're going to set aside a percentage in a sinking fund so that come time for me to file my taxes, I can pay that. So let's go back to the top here and talk about amounts. For campground, we are budgeting $50. Car tags and maintenance is going to get $25. Christmas is also going to get $25. Hunting's going to get $25. Home maintenance is going to get $25. And then for YouTube, we're going to take 30%. So I made $245.15. 30% of that is $73.54 or $73.55. I'm going to round that up, so we're going to set aside $74 for YouTube tax money. So let me add this up. 50 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 74, $224 for sinking funds. This week. Next we have extra debt. We use the debt snowball method to pay off our debt, and so the debt snowball amount that we are working with is $128 for the week. So that is what I anticipate going towards extra debt payments. Obviously, had I had any minimum payments due this week, that number would be listed under bills, because we pay the minimum payments on all of our credit cards, and then we just pay extra to the card that has the lowest balance, which currently is a Capital One card. I did not have any minimum payments due this week, so that's why they're not listed here. Or did I? Did I miss something? Let me double check. Hold on. Oh, look, you guys, I did. I do have a credit card minimum payment due this week. My Discover card is due at the end of this week. So we're going to pause what we're doing here and move back to bills. And I'm going to put that in really quickly. Just remembered that. I must have just overlooked it on my calendar. So that means that this bill total is not accurate. So we're going to erase that. I love using my Parkoo erasable pens for that reason. And I'm going to pull my calculator in and we're going to redo this total because this is not right. Oh, geez. Would help if I added in the Discover total. I'm budgeting $50 for that. Plus 50, $785. I would have definitely been over budget at the end of the week. When I come back at the end of the week, I always do my budget results video where I show you guys whether I was over or under budget in my categories. I definitely would have been over budget had I forgotten to put that in, so I'm glad that I remembered. Moving back to extra debt now, the amount that I anticipate spending for extra debt is $128, as I mentioned. And lastly, for extra savings, I save a little bit of money every single week outside of my sinking funds, just in extra savings as a sort of rainy day fund or just savings for basically whatever I want. And I do that using a fun printable called Savopoly that I found online. I will link it down below. It's a $3 printable, and it looks like a Monopoly board. I'll show you guys. It's in the back of my little book here. There it is. It looks like a Monopoly board. You roll a dice, you go around the board, and the property that you land on correlates with how much money you are going to save. When I did my rolling for the week, I landed on a space worth $17, and so that is the amount that we are going to save for Savopoly this week. All right, so that is a look at my budget for the week. The last thing that we're going to do before I leave you is figure out how much cash I need to pull out of the bank. So as I mentioned, I pull out all of the totals for my cash envelopes from the bank, but also I use cash for my sinking funds as well as my extra savings. So first I'm going to add up those totals and see how much I need to pull out. 230 plus 224 plus 17, $471 is what we're going to pull out from the bank total. I'm going to go to this cash envelope breakdown page. This is the other page that I use from the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. I love it. So we're going to pull 471 total. And now I'm going to write all of these categories that I have here on this page so that I can then do the cash breakdown and figure out which denominations I need to take out of the bank. So I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to go ahead and write in my categories, and then we'll come back and do the cash breakdown together. Be right back. Alright, you guys, so I have gone in and written out all of my categories as well as my amounts, and now we're just going to do the cash breakdown. This is the denominations that I want to make sure to pull out of the bank. That way I have the correct amount to put into my various envelopes. For my spending categories for the week, gasoline, miscellaneous, my spending, my husband's spending, eating out, I'm going to take smaller bills out of the bank. We're still under a coin shortage here in Michigan, and or actually I think it's the whole country. I'm not really sure. Let me know in a comment below if you guys are experiencing a coin shortage where you are. But smaller bills have been easier to manage with cash spending. Not as much change having to be given, and I can more often have exact totals when I'm spending. So that's what I'm going to do. So for gasoline, I need $50. Rather than just pulling out a 50, I'm going to take 2 20s and a 10. Miscellaneous, again, 2 20s and a 10. For my spending, I'm going to do a 20 and 2 10s. My husband's spending, he's just going to take 2 20s. And for eating out, we always break this down a little bit more. That way I have cash for tips or whatever if we're ordering a pizza. So we're going to do a 20, 2 10s, a 5, and 5 1s. The rest of this I'm not spending right away. It's just going to sit in our sinking fund, so I don't necessarily need smaller bills for this. So for campground, I'm going to take a 50. Car tags and maintenance is going to get a 20 and a 5. Same with Christmas, 20 and a 5. Actually, the same with hunting and the same with home maintenance. For YouTube, we're going to take a 50, a 20, and 4 1s. That's 74, 50, 60, 70, 74. And then for Savopoly, we're going to take a 10, a 5, and 2 1s. So that is a look at how I'm going to break down the cash, and then we're just going to count this up. So we're going to take 5, 9, 10, 11 1s, which is $11. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5s for $30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10s. That's $70. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 20s. That's $260. And then 2 50s is $100. And then I'm just going to add up these totals now and make sure that they add up to this 471. So that's 11 plus 30 plus 70 plus 260 plus 100 is 471. So that's perfect. The last thing I need to do then is pull in one of my little cash totals, what are these called? Bank teller slips from the Budget Mom. I'm just going to copy this information here, and then I can just give the sticky note right to our bank teller, and she can pull out all of the cash that we need that way. It's very easy for everyone involved. Don't have to worry about telling her out loud, you know, that I need 11 ones and 6 5s. It's just much easier to just write it down. And this makes it super easy. I will have these linked down below as well. $11, $30 in 5s, $70 in 10s, $260 in 20s, and $100 in 50s. No hundreds, for a grand total of $471. So that will go with me to the bank. And that is it for my budget for the 3rd week in the month of July. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe. It only takes a second. And I post new videos here on my channel almost every single weekday. So thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!